وما بعد. A few days ago I was talking to some young men and youth and the tone and اهتمامهم كان بالاشياء الفانسي العربيات المشهوره. So they were talking about fancy cars and and when I was young I have a hard time knowing the difference between the different car manufacturers except Mercedes. Mercedes has this, but everything else I think I know them when I came to Canada. I didn't know them for a long time because for me car is like a donkey, horse, just something to take me from point A to point B. That's it. It's a device. It's a tool that we use for moving and so on. That's simple. And I remember great people like any name in whatever in history or in our modern life, Einstein or Tesla or Thomas Edison or any name you know it. هؤلاء العظماء عندما يرتبطوا بأشياء بسيطة، هذه الأشياء البسيطة تأخذ من عظمتهم. فلما تيجي تلاقي سيارة كان راكبها ستيف جوبز، مع انها تكون حاجة بسيطة، لكن تلاقي الناس يدفعوا بملايين عشان ياخدوا نفس السيارة، ياخدوا الشيرت بتاعه. ف sometimes you find any great man you think, anyone in dunya or in deen, Steve Jobs for example, or Nelson Mandela. The first shirt he came out of jail, because he was a great man, his shirt will be sold for millions of dollars because, he will add a value to normal things, shirt or a car or whatever. But normal people, average people, will think that when they buy fancy stuff, they will get a value with the car. Steel and cars and wires and aluminum doesn't add a value to yourself. You add a value to them. الإنسان العظيم يضيف قيمة لهذه الأشياء. الإنسان المتواضع، الإنسان البسيط بيشعر بالفخر. And he will feel proud that I have this car, I have this great house. Okay? So subhanAllah, we have to set our mind right. You add to the house. How many museums that we have with just a normal house, right, for a great man? And how many fancy houses? And like what they call, بالإنجليزي mansion, okay, like a palace, right? And you have very rich people, and when they die, this will disappear. And this was subhanallah, وَإِنَّهُ لَذِكْرٌ لَكَ وَلِقَوْمِكَ. One thing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala telling Rasulullah that the deen, the value you add to this life will be a remembrance for you and for your people. People will remember Rasulullah, will remember Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman, Ali. In Hajj, Maqam Ibrahim could be like the footsteps of Ibrahim. Why is so important now? Because Ibrahim, Safa wal Marwa, like it's two little hills, two little mountains, and a woman. Nobody, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala didn't make Hajar, as we know, this place, how many hills in life that you see? Millions of little hills that people have. But because of Hajar alayhi salam has a value, the distance she cut or she walked add value to it. So we have to understand this, and especially young people, that you add a value, like Michael Jackson. Where is Michael Jackson now? People will forget him. Few years, nobody will know. Even young people, maybe you know Michael Jackson? Huh? Well, you don't know him, right? Yes or no? Okay, Michael Jackson, maybe 20 years ago, was so famous. But then he disappeared, and nobody will know his name. But Newton, Isaac Newton, Einstein, Khalid bin Walid, Umar ibn al-Khattab. So this is what we need to think about. You add value to things. The things doesn't add value to you. Jazakumullah khair. Assalamu alaikum.